I have a very simple question. I would like to stay young. What should I do about it? Always young. Is it possible?
Well, let's build a bridge there. When you are in alignment with your inner being, you are in a state of replenishment. You hear that your cells become new every so many years, but that really is, while it's true, it could be much more emphatically and accurately stated. When you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on, like we were talking about, the energy that flows to you is continually new. But what summons that? Now, this conversation, you're going to feel like we've taken you off the track, but we want you to know we're absolutely answering your question. So this subject is about receiving that energy. And receiving that energy is about focusing on somewhere to flow it. So if you are not flowing it, you're not asking for it. And if you're not asking for it, then you can't receive it. So this subject is about giving more than it is about getting. It's about being alive and vivid and vital and dynamic in this energy flowing through you. But in order for energy to flow through you, it needs a place to flow. For example, we talked with a woman some years ago, and current husband had been married before. And every time he got more money from his work endeavors, his ex-wife would go to the court and petition for a bigger share. And his existing wife did not like that at all. And we said, oh, wouldn't it be nice if he had 10 ex-wives? And she did not think that sounded like what she was looking for. 10 people to hate instead of one. And we said, because of his desire to support and care for these people that have been a part of his life, their desire is summoning through him. And what percentage does she get? The ex-wife. And the existing wife said about half, about 50%. So he said, if there were 10 of them, then you'd have 10 times more. Your half would be 10 times bigger. Well, she hadn't even thought about it like that, because most people aren't thinking about how they summon their wealth or summon their youth or summon their value or summon their balance. And what we are saying to you is, you want to marry in your mind, because they are one and the same thing. What you give is what you get. 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 In other words, if you've got a place to flow it, then it will keep coming to you. And that's what keeps life force continuing to flow through you. Now, if you have something more specific, in time you can ask for that. Once you've convinced yourself that that is possible, there's a case to be made. I want to feel youthful because I want to stay beautiful because I care about how other people are looking at me. Well, that's a different conversation than that I'm wanting to stay in tune with source energy so that I can continue to create and flow. But you can marry the two. You can be or do or have anything that you choose. You can be as specific as you want to be. But our encouragement is, be as specific as you can be without going toward resistance. Don't want it in order to not have that. Want it because you like the feeling of being alive. You like the feeling of being vital. You like the feeling of being tuned in, tapped in, turned on. You like the flowing of the energy that creates worlds. One day, early in Jerry and Esther's experience with us, we were in a city in Texas, and a woman was visiting with us and explaining that she is a healer. And she said, but look at my hands. And her hands were peeling like they'd been burned. She said, the energy that is flowing through me is so hot. And we said, well, use your healing energy on your own hands. That made no sense at all. You have to accept yourself as part of the flow. Don't separate yourself from the energy that flows. To maybe make this clearer for you, or more emphatic for you, your inner being is energy only. Only energy. Only vibration. Only focused energy vibration. And so that energy that you are summoning, you can utilize it for whatever you want. can utilize it in whatever way you want. Just got to make sure that you're tuned in. We've been telling a silly story about someone who wants to be very helpful, and they're showing off for their wife, or usually for their mother-in-law. So they decided to vacuum the living room, but she's in the other room watching them through a window. She doesn't know that they haven't plugged the vacuum in, but they're really looking like they're vacuuming hard. They're not picking anything up, but they're going through the motions. And we say, plug it in, plug the vacuum in. That's where that you are looking for comes from. You have not been assigned only so much. Humans make themselves that assignment. You talk about how long you've got left all the time. You talk more about your diminishing. You feel more comfortable sitting around and talking with people about your common problems and disabilities than most do about this infinite energy that is flowing through them at all times. Yeah? So maybe rather than using the word youthful, was that the word?
Yes.
Just for a little while, call it lively. Just call it lively. Or aliveness, but that's not really a word. Well, maybe it is. Lively. In the same way that you might eat for fuel because you want energy, you want to think for fuel too, to be more lively, more longevity, more robust power in the now.